perspicuous conversation. Alright.
You mean proactive or productive?
Yes. Not that word,
These
but
are
a
the
different
7
word.
most powerful men in China.
Is it playing for
They
you, Ka?
represent the top leadership positions of the ruling party, and their identities are revealed every 5 years at a carefully choreographed political event called the National Congress.
China's Communist Party unveils its new leadership over the next 5 years.
The order of appearance is symbolic. The first person to emerge is the head of the party for the next 5 years. At the most recent event in October 2022, that person was Xi Jinping, China's president for the last 10 years, who walked out in the top spot a historic 3rd time after getting rid of China's presidential term limit that restricted all his predecessors to 2 terms, a signal that he may be planning to stay in power for life. The world hasn't seen a Chinese leader like this since Mao Zedong, the revolutionary founder of the People's Republic of China, whose ruthless dictatorship scarred the Chinese people for generations. Xi has been compared to Mao a lot, and he clearly draws from Mao's playbook. But there's something else that connects these two. When
So
Xi
do
was
they
just a
not
young
like
boy, Mao
do they not like Mao in China?
I don't. Why would they like him? Like, there's literally.
Well, apparently they like President Jinping. That's even how you pronounce it, to be honest with you.
Jinping.
Yeah, Jinping. President Jinping.
I don't know. I don't. I mean, why the fuck would they like him? They just said that he was brutal, and then.
Well, Vox is a American news network, I believe.
Also, in China, you can't even say anything like about.
Well, they do. On Halloween, I saw that. I didn't even know people in China celebrated Halloween, but apparently they do. But on Halloween, I saw a clip of them like dressing up as like like the Winnie the Pooh or something, and that's like what they call President Jinping. It was apparently how they speak in China is through Halloween costumes.
So what does that mean? That he's a good guy or some shit, or he takes all the honey, or like what the fuck does that even mean?
He takes all the honey. That's a good way to put it. Bro, but this cord is too short. My headphones died and it keeps yanking me down. Alright.
Ruined his life. Generations apart, their paths crossed unexpectedly, and a teenage Xi from an elite family in Beijing ended up in exile.
Which one of these are... Which one is President Jinping?
I don't fucking know. Guess the guy on the right, because it zoomed out from him.
Oh, I do kind of see it.
Condemned to hard labor in the countryside.
Yeah, that does look
50
like
years
him.
later,
Yeah, that's
Xi
our
is
boy.
one of the most powerful
That's our
political
boy.
figures in the world and the only leader since Mao to have unchecked power over China.
Damn, bro. I thought that was a Star Wars clip, but that's China.
Later, Xi is one of the most powerful political figures in the world.
Holy
and
shit,
the only
dude.
leader since Mao to have unchecked.
This is some straight up Star Wars shit. Fucking Emperor Palpatine.
Holy
What the
shit,
fuck is
bro.
that?
Look at it, dude. What the fuck? Look at all the banners and the red communism.
What is
Fucking.
Is this the LGBTQ flag or what is this?
No, it's just a bunch of. I don't know. It's not even really
power
rainbow.
over China. So, how did he go from being banished in his country to taking complete control of it?
Delta Airlines is committed to net zero carbon emissions by 2050. Because
I wonder who owns this app.
And it's time we all got going together.
There's something wrong with
The elites.
It's all messed up.
I don't know what that means.
Or what could it mean?
Xi Jinping's connection to Mao formed long before Xi was
Oh
even
my
born.
god.
It goes back to when a bloody civil war was raging in China. A group
Damn.
of radical communist revolutionaries,
That was right after
including
cars were
Mao,
invented, apparently,
gained
right?
influence over large swaths of mainland
I can't
China
hear you.
and
That was like right
controlled a
after cars
communist
got
military
invented, right?
called the Red Army that fought the national
After who?
This is right after the cars were invented, right?
revolutionaries, including Mao, gained influence over large swaths of
I
mainland China
guess.
and
Right?
controlled a
When did they
Here,
make cameras? I'm pretty sure they made cameras after they made cars, right? I don't even know.
what does that have to do with cameras?
Because look, they're fucking videotaping it. They're videoing it.
No, but the Chinese Civil War, right? Was it during the same time? I think is when was the first car? If I'm tripping, then I'm gonna look really stupid. We're still clipping it. When were cars? I'm not gonna say invented. I'm gonna go with when were cars?
Being
You know what? I'll say invented.
public use.
Okay, no, we're gonna go with when were cars? Because we gotta make this look nicer for me. When were cars mass produced? What? So yeah, it was 1947. What is this talking about? In the late 1800s. Oh, this is when they were invented. So Ford, when they first started to be able to mass produce, was that's that motherfucker's birthday. 1908.
Was when they were mass produced.
Yeah.
a
Wow,
communist
that's
military called the
long
Red
ago.
Army that
So
fought the
only
Nationalist
20 years
Party
later,
ruling the Republic of China at the time.
30,
At this point, the communists were
they
losing
had a
bad.
civil war.
The bulk of their army was pinned down here, in a communist-controlled region originally established by Mao, now surrounded by nationalist forces. And they were running low on food. So the Red Army decided to launch a bold attack to break through the nationalist forces and evacuate the roughly 130,000 communist soldiers and civilians stuck here. On October 16th,
So how do these people, right? So China, I'm guessing, used to be nationalist. I don't know really much about the Chinese history. I'm guessing Chinese is nationalist, or was in the 1930s.
Mhm.
So how did the communists get 130,000 people to fight for their cause, you know? Like how did these 130,000 people get so rowdy?
I don't know.
That's what I never understand. Like what is the
What do
social science behind the spread of these
like? Yeah. Like, what do
these
you say to
things, you
people?
know?
What do you say to
Yeah, like
people?
what did they say the dude's name was who started all this? Mao? Is that how you
Yeah,
pronounced it? Yeah, so
yeah.
what Mao was just walking, there was no internet back then, right? So Mao was just walking around the streets and like how did people even go to
Newspaper.
find out about communism back then? Like how did all these people, no internet, find out about communism and
It probably
unite?
started.
But they didn't send texts to each other, so how did these people even, I can't even comprehend. Maybe it's because we're just young or something. I can't even comprehend how these people would assemble all together.
But it wasn't that quick, right? It's not like it was one day.
But how did it even get to this point? Mao just walked around or something?
So he was just like,
Or there was probably like newspapers maybe? He
we're
was like,
all, we're all.
yo, he had a newspaper ad and people were like, like how did this happen? You know?
Yeah, let's all come together on October 16th.
But like how did people even become educated in a time like this enough to even know enough to want to have a revolution for communism. You know what I'm saying? Because
They
how
just
there's no
they
way
probably
they mass produced 130,000 books, right? When were they able to start mass producing books?
no, they were definitely it was definitely just like what's going on now, you know? Like everyone you tell people one thing and they don't really know, but they believe you because it makes sense. Even though, you know, there's probably way more to it, or there is way more to it. And then, you know, they just believe you because it just makes sense. And
Well,
then
yeah, they were mass producing newspapers in the revolution, so.
and then you just go along with it because it strikes a nerve in your brain. You just get emotional about it.
A
Like
hundred and okay, but you don't have no,
manipulation.
but what, they just sat down and fully educated people on communism enough to the point where they were able to stand up for something?
I
Like,
don't know. They're probably just like said something simple like wouldn't it be better if we were all equal and or shared everything and I don't know, like what's the best way to describe communism, you know? You just summed it all up into probably a couple of sentences or they all heard him. I mean, you can probably look that up too. You can probably look up what you want to know right now. How
no,
we did it.
trust me, I've looked up how to start a revolution before.
And it's not on there?
No, it's not on Google. It's not on Rumble. No, I don't think that's
Really?
something that you learn from just. That's what I'm saying. How did these people? They were just like on. They were that they were the main character or something. Like they were just like they knew exactly what to do.
Connections, I guess. Yeah.
Most people couldn't even wait. Like dude, the literacy rate. Like, can you pull that up for me? What was the literacy rate in China in 1934? How could these people even read? 130,000 people. How did anything even happen? It's not even. Maybe that's why things used to be smoother back in ancient times.
So, I don't think I'm going to be able to find the exact number.
Yeah, because yeah, they're too busy being communist to take these numbers and stats in the 1930s, probably, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's probably why the ancient world was just kind of like chiller, you know?
Yeah.
Because think about it, right?
Nobody.
The slaves, right? And when I say slave, I'm not talking like cotton fields, I'm talking like system, right? The people who are
Yeah.
necessary, like some people need to make burgers, people need to
Yeah.
for
Yeah. Like,
society to work, right?
yeah.
They couldn't read back in the ancient times. Only people who were smart enough to know how to read knew how to read, and they were the ones that had access to like important books, right? But now all this is on the internet now. So now we have, burger flippers who think they're smart, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just a theory that I just came up with.
No, no, no. That makes sense.
Well, it's
It's
just a theory still, you know. Why should it charge now?
well, I mean, they just think about it, like they definitely didn't have that much education. Everyone was just ignorant, you know, ignorance is bliss, and they were just
But so if this spread mouth to mouth, right? How did this spread? Because what are these the roads, I'm guessing? So these are the only fucking roads around? Like, how did this spread? Or is this the Great China Wall, actually? Maybe I'm like stupid. Yeah, that's probably definitely not a road. That's probably the wall.
yeah, but
But still, they were just they
but
fucking walked or something? Because there's no way the Chinese had
yeah, he went door to door and
automobiles.
sold 100.
Was Ford already shipping their automobiles to China during this time period? Were cars easily accessible in China at this time? Because I can't imagine, like, even like, think about it, like Rome, right? Ancient Rome. How on earth did they organize hundreds and thousands of people together in a time like that to go do some barbaric shit? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
How did that get done?
there's definitely a way, but well, also people were much
Well, yeah,
like
obviously there's definitely a way, but how did these
well, well,
people,
well,
how did these individuals like Mao and George Washington know how to get so many people riled up?
it was definitely just, I guess, just word of mouth, and he just told them it's super important that you spread it to everybody. You know, what else would they be fucking talking about? They can't talk about the news. I guess they're talking about like how much horse shit they scooped up that day or whatever. Like, you know, that's all that they have to talk about. So of course, when he tells them to talk about something else, something interesting, starting a revolution that we're all being used and just for whatever it was or whatever these revolutions are. You know, they take it in and then it's very they feel probably like they're doing something, you know. It's like their
Yeah.
mission. So they go and do it. But nowadays, I mean, just think about it. Nowadays it's like you have to be fucking like a genius to find a way to, I don't know, just get pique people's interests in helping the world because, you know, like on Monkey, a bunch of people were just saying, "Oh, I don't really care," you know, or I've tried to help people, but
Yeah.
they're just too stupid. You know, it's hard to spark like a fucking flame in
So
them.
maybe back in the day, right? Things were easier to eat more. Things happened more easily because people were they 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 were still stupid, right? But they were stupid and they were aware that they were stupid, right? But
Yeah,
now people
yeah,
have access to Google, ChatGPT, and they think they're
yeah,
Albert Einstein, right?
yeah, exactly.
So
That's what I was
so now they
thinking
think
too.
they're entitled to not listen to someone that knows more than
Yeah,
them.
because they already know what's going on, and what you're saying is like it's
But they
blasphemy.
don't know what's going on.
Yeah, but they don't. So that's why you have to find a way to put it in their heads that they. And I've been trying to think. All
So
right.
you would agree that it's probably more challenging in today's world, even though you would think it would be easier because of the internet, but it's probably harder because of the internet.
Yeah, yeah, because it's like, you know, where's your proof? And then even if you show them proof, like, is it even real?
The thing
You
about the
know?
internet is you can find whatever proof you want to see, right? Not the proof. It's not just there's not one proof, right? Depending on how you search something up, you could get different answers on Google.
Hmm.
Or you can just literally touch ChatGPT like something mean, and half the time it'll change its answer. But that's probably only because AI is still in the terms of AI in its early stages.
Hmm.
So
Well, that's just what we have. It's probably super fucking advanced by now. Because you know, apparently they are using. I uh,
well,
I just
apparently Google had an AI that was conscious months ago, maybe even a
bro,
year by now
bro,
ago.
Jacob. I just watched a video explaining how, you know, how you emit a frequency, right?
Yeah.
um like everything about you emits a frequency, your brain, your heart, your stomach, just everything, the way that you talk, like after each word that you say emits a frequency, and then your brain, your emotion emits a frequency, right? And how you feel. So apparently there's like, I don't know, like frequency antenna in the phone, which that would make sense because I mean they can literally fucking take in like
Well, apparently
data.
people are getting a certain kind of cancer in their ear, and the conspiracy is that it's from, hey, Banyan, are you ready to work on the podcast? Apparently that's what it's from.
Hmm. From phone calls. I mean, bro,
Or
there's
AirPods.
like these
Bro, well,
extreme.
what is Bluetooth? right?
Bro,
What is going into our ears?
it's just very low frequency. All that shit, all of it, all the 5G and everything, that's all really low frequency. It's just interacting with us at a micro nano level, whatever the fuck you want to call
Yo,
it.
we only got 2 minutes and 32 seconds to this video. And we had like a whole ass podcast. Alright.
Yeah.
So back
been
to the
20 minutes.
topic. The rise of Jinping.
No. Jacob, this is important.
Alright.
Because they can tell exactly how you feel, and they collect all your data, all your frequency, like your emotions and everything. So they kind of like know how you're thinking. Even if you tell a lie, they know what you're saying because they can hear it through your phone, and they know how you feel because the frequency you're emitting. Okay, and like literally a low frequency can fucking light shit on fire if you like use the right device to harness it and create a spark or whatever, a flame. It can light shit on fire easily, and so I mean, it's just collecting data. Your phone is collecting data. That's the whole idea behind it. And I mean, it makes sense that it's possible. I don't really know if they're doing it, but if they take all that data from everybody that has a phone and they put it into AI, bro, you can make some crazy shit that is like very similar to humans, and you can put that data in there and then make AI figure out how to make people go like this or think like this or feel like this based
So
off of
if
this.
fuck, well honestly I was about to say something. I was gonna say like, oh, if they're like humans, we'll be fine, right? But that's kinda if they're
No.
like humans, we're fucked.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, honestly, even if they are just like AI or if they are like either way, it's just
If AI is not benevolent, right? Is not completely benevolent and is like humans in any way, we are fucked.
yeah. I mean, why would it be good unless you put it in the code to always choose the infinite right answers?
Well,
You
what
know what
I'm worried about, right, is there's not a single human on the planet of Earth right now that I believe is remotely close to benevolent, right? So it's not even possible for anyone on the planet to code this thing to be benevolent.
Well, you could just say, I mean, because it just depends on how you feel about different things.
Because everyone, right? If we merge
You
with
have you
AI, if we merge with AI like Elon Musk wants, right? Right? People all have a different idea of what benevolence means or
exactly.
what's good for the
You have
world,
to know you have to know everything to be able to make a opinion on what is right.
right? So people expecting this to be
Really right.
like, people are saying we're gonna treat this thing like a god. It's not even close. It won't even be ever be close because it just won't AI always be regurgitating shit we've already
Yeah.
like it
Well,
just we're just making a human.
yeah, basically.
And that I think that's a bad thing. A human a human with 4 Einsteins in its computer brain,
Bro, way more than that.
right? So and hey, Einstein came up with nukes, didn't he? He helped come up with the nukes, so I don't know. Intelligence doesn't correlate with benevolence. I don't trust AI. I never will. I think it's the Antichrist.
I think that there's a lot of antichrists out here.
I think yeah, a lot of dark energy.
AI, bro, we don't even know how far they've gone with AI.
Yeah, because no one knew about tanks, and then boom, they pop out of nowhere, right? So they definitely, that's proof that the government has, I think, more advanced technology than the common
Bro,
public. I mean, think
they
about
have
it, right?
way more advanced
Obviously,
technology, bro.
even when
And
I
it's
was a
exponential.
dumbass, right? Even when I was a dumbass and I still believed in like the world and the government, I was like, well, obviously the government has technology that we don't
Yeah.
have. It's for our
Yeah.
safety.
Yeah.
right?
Our
So even as a complete dumbass who was still asleep, I was thinking like, of course, obviously, doesn't make sense that they wouldn't.
I had so much confidence that like, oh, they're gonna we'll be protected even if aliens come by. Like, I know we're gonna be okay.
Yeah, I was
Even
like, oh, the aliens will just be nice. They'll be like, oh, they're like dogs or something. Like, poor things. That's what I used to think. I was like, oh, they'll just be like poor things. Let them be. We don't go out mass killing deers or some shit, right? Just like poor thing. Getting run out into the road. What a dumbass. That's how I would imagine an alien looking at the human race. Just fucking dumbass. He doesn't know better. Right? It's a
I mean,
monkey. Can't see its reflection.
unless they talk to the elites,
Right? They
the
probably see it like this, right? We look at bears and we're like, oh, a bear can't see its own reflection. It's not aware of itself when it looks into its reflection. It thinks it's another bear. It doesn't realize it's it. Right? Aliens probably look at us and they're like, oh, they're not even aware of their egos. Like they can't even
yeah,
see themselves. Just like we think bears can't see themselves.
yeah.
They're probably like that's probably what they're thinking. Like, damn it, all these people can't even see themselves. I mean, I couldn't
And
see myself. I used to walk around all day going, "Who am I?" That's a thought that would loop in my head constantly. Like,
yeah, of
I couldn't
course.
even picture myself walking into a room and being myself. Because I didn't know who I was. That that's like the majority of the human race right now.
Yeah, I used to be. I went back and forth with that. It's just all about confidence, and you just gotta trust
But
yourself.
ever
But
since that Adam video, it's been completely different.
yeah, yeah. You just gotta. God damn.
Damn, we're getting some content though right now. We
How
are
good is
The kitchen is hot, Banyan,
how? Yeah, we are sizzling up in here, bro.
and we're only 2 minutes and 32 seconds into this video.
These are things that I haven't even like. There's some of these things I haven't even thought about that we're talking about right now.
For some reason, just knowing that we need clips, I'm just going like.
Yeah.
But honestly, I don't even know if any of this is clippable because it's just I don't even know if that's the English. What we were saying.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's
Yeah.
not. I don't know if
People.
that's the human language that most
Well, because
humans.
they don't even understand like what's going on. How?
Like some radios can't pick up certain frequencies.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah.
people when they watch this, they're gonna be like, "Oh, finally, another Jake
Yeah.
Chansley or something," right? But
Yeah.
most
Yeah.
people they're going, "What the fuck is this
Yeah.
schizophrenic doing out of
I'm
a
not one.
hospital?" You know?
Yeah. I'm not. Shit. That's why I'm saying, Jacob. We need to make them understand. Okay. We need a script, literally a script, something that we can tell people.
Can we
I've
just like
already.
put it into Google Translate, like translate it to Spanish and then translate it back to English so it's like dumbed down, or like
Yeah.
put it in ChatGPT, like dumb this shit down for me real quick,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
it's like easier for people to understand.
Simplify this as much as possible. But I mean, you can't really. It's complex. So
But the
there.
thing is, simple is not really dumbing it down, right? Dumbing it down is taking something and fucking stretching it out and saying it in so many different ways in the most like childish way possible that people can understand. That's why Jake Chansley, right? He says the same thing 4 fucking times so people of all kinds of backgrounds can understand what he's saying. Have you noticed
Mhm,
that he does that?
dude,
He
and
will he
every.
will explain quantum physics like 8 times in 30 minutes.
I know. In each video, he takes like 20 minutes just to explain the same thing that I've heard over and over. But it really does help because there's sometimes I'm like, I didn't really understand what he was saying
Do you
until
think
he said,
schizophrenia is an actual mental illness or do you think they're like tapped in?
you mean like they'd hear voices
Like the
from.
people who will be like, I'm talking to a demon or an angel, right? Would you say
Oh,
that's all mental is that mental illness or are they talking to a
yeah,
fourth
because that's what
dimensional
they tell
being?
us. That's
Right,
what they
yeah.
tell us.
Well, you go, if you, right, tomorrow you go, Craig, I just talked to a fourth dimensional being in my bedroom. He's going. Yeah, call the fucking hospital. They're locking him up. You're right.
Yeah,
And
he
then
would.
you're told you're schizophrenic. Now, if you're a normal ass dude who randomly started talking to some fourth dimensional being in your room, let's say that actually happened to someone, right? And they're just the average Joe, right? Now they're at the hospital being told they're schizophrenic. Now they think they're schizophrenic. Now they've labeled themselves as schizophrenic. Now they don't trust anything that's happening to them.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder how many like people with superpowers, or
Well,
whatever you want to
have you
call it.
talked to a schizophrenic person before?
I've not, no. Apparently my friend Josh in Tennessee is schizophrenic.
You've been in a sauna with him.
But we didn't talk to him, did we? I don't remember having a
Oh,
conversation.
I've talked to him a couple times. He's kind of like very sporadic, and so I think schizophrenia might be. I think
Schizophrenia might be real, but I bet there's a certain
yeah,
percentage that is like
yeah,
that was not since schizophrenia. That was a cover up.
yeah. But I feel like you would know. You'd be like, "No, I'm not fucking
But what we're
schizophrenic."
talking about right now is obviously all theory conspiracy, right? This is all like this is actually like
Yeah,
Nards would
yeah,
say, you cannot prove this. Yes, we cannot prove this. What we're talking about right
yeah,
now. This is all theory. This is just like the Big Bang theory. This is just like evolution, right? It's not real. You can't prove it.
yeah.
But sorry, I dropped my jewel.
Oh,
The elite, that is a fact. That's not a conspiracy
no,
theory when we're talking
that's a
about that.
fact. And
That's
Jake,
actually going on.
so how should we open up like the conversation of like let's say when we have to make that video, when that video comes, all right, how are we gonna like right now, obviously we
Well,
can't say
when that time comes, when we announce who the elite is, because guess what, folks? We know who the elite is. Um, and you should
we
too. I
will
mean, it's
too.
not even that hard to find out, but we're not going to come out and because
But
the
honestly, bro, it is. It took me 20 years to figure this shit out, and it was only
well,
because of you.
we weren't trying to. If you're like, I want to know the truth, you're gonna
Yeah,
know the truth,
yeah.
right? At
Well,
one point,
no,
you were like,
but,
at one
but they
point,
already
you
think they
decided,
know the
right?
truth.
You were like, I gotta know.
But they already think that they know the truth. So
No, most people are. I don't care. Oh, I- they yeah, some people in certain scenarios think they know the truth, and then some certain scenarios when they kind of get in a bubble, they go, oh, I just don't care to listen to you.
yeah, like Sequoia's like he 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 just doesn't take anything seriously. He's just where's the evidence? But then he's like, well, we still don't really know.
After
Even
yeah, after the
though you
evidence
just
is
showed me
shown.
evidence, even though it makes sense, it makes perfect sense, and like there's no other way that you could explain it. For what's going on right now, it's still like, but that's a theory, you know. But it's not.
Apparently, that guy on Monkey, it's just how it is. That's part of America. Apparently, it's just you got to deal with them. That's what he was saying. Dude, I can't wait when we have like 2 million subscribers and we release that debate of me, David, and Charlie because we can't release that. We've decided that's going in the vault, and this is going to be like before we were famous. We were doing this shit.
What even happened with that? I don't know what happened with that dude.
He was saying like, "Oh, I am a,
Yeah,
I am a dim boy,
yeah.
right? I am a dim boy, but I am not a member of the. I'm." He said, "I'm a dim boy, but I am not a part of any Abrahamic faiths. I am guy agnostic."
The cabal.
No, he only believes in the Gospel of Thomas. Thomas, I think he said.
Oh,
Which I don't even know what the fuck that is. I don't even know if is Guy Gnostics, are they Abrahamic? I don't know. But fuck, I just lost my train of thought. What was I saying just 2 seconds ago?
he believes
Oh,
in the.
yeah, he was saying, right? He was saying he is a dim boy, but he is not part of any Abrahamic faiths. And he was saying that, if you're American, you just got to deal with it, is what he was saying.
With what?
With the elite. He was like, oh, boo-hoo.
Bro, what? Hell no. There's definitely... Alright, if we told people...
He knows. He was an
If,
educated fellow, man. And I don't know. Everyone was like, yeah, there's not that many souls on Monkey, right? But we have attracted some pretty good conversations, and what we started doing this 3 days ago, this kind of content.
Mhm.
Hey, so I don't believe in coincidences. So
I mean... Yeah. Well, also, people... It's really hard to find people like that. But... Yeah, you're right. Because there's no way that Ricky was a coincidence, or Risky was a coincidence.
here, you want to react to that Andrew Tate video? That was like, it was kind of popping. He kind of started trending.
Yeah, sure. I mean, we can watch this if you want real quick. We can stop talking. Just watch this.
Now we should watch.
So I'm sitting next to.
This is gonna be way more interesting, I think. And can you check the stream and tell me if they can even hear the Discord YouTube audio?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's good in the hood. They heard the Chinese video.
Yeah, I can hear you.
But they were able to hear the Chinese video when it was playing.
Oh, wait, play it.
What? This video contains content from the UMG, who has blocked it from display on this website. Well, I'll grab a different fucking link then. Because this is not the one I was watching. So.
Yeah, they can hear it. They can hear it.
Alright, cool. I'm just anxious after we lost that first video.
Yeah. That was a big letdown because we actually could have used a clip from that, like for sure.
What was it?
We could have had a good clip, or we could have posted probably the entire thing. But I don't mean nobody. I don't know who would have listened to it. Just not have anyone. Well, I mean, no, we probably would have gotten something.
Damn, it
You know,
was.
check-
I guess I did watch that one. Well, Banyan, I guess we will not be watching that.
Why?
Because it doesn't want me to show you this amazing video.
So I'm sitting.
It says on Discord it is not allowed.
Content from UMG has blocked it from display on this website. What the hell?
That's what I'm saying.
You can't screen share and just play it?
Nah, because I'm streaming. So I'll just find a different video.
Well, what was that video on, anyways? The Andrew Tate one.
You said what?
What was it about? The Andrew Tate one.
I'll send it to you because you're going to watch it.
But what is it about?
You'll see it when you watch it.
Is it good? Alright.
No.
Yeah, we actually.
Ooh, this might be a good one.
Hey, 42 here. Napoleon Bonaparte.
This is probably gonna be like a very good conversation. Watching this within the first 2 seconds, maybe.
Hey, 42 here.
42.
Napoleon Bonaparte is one of the most influential people in the history of mankind. And you don't have to take my word for it. That was the conclusion reached in the 2013 book, Who's Bigger?, which ranked historical figures in order of their significance. Of the 100 billion or so members of our species that have
When's David get off,
to
bruh?
date, Napoleon Bonaparte came
I don't know.
He went in late, right?
The French meet in a religious sandwich
Yeah.
between Jesus
Probably be too
Christ
tired
and
anyways.
the Prophet Muhammad.
Wow, that's
Napoleon
crazy.
is probably most famous today for his brilliance as a general. He led his troops in more than 80 battles, winning a staggering 90% of them. No other general in recorded history can even come close to matching those numbers. He practically invented modern warfare, and it's no exaggeration to say that he is probably the greatest military genius that's ever lived.
This is Napoleon? Apparently there's like a really stupid show they made or movie, and they made him like really like feminine or something. They made Napoleon feminine. The Conqueror. Napoleon. The motherfucking G Napoleon.
What they do to make him feminine?
I apparently
He was like twirling his hair in the movie or something.
I heard some bad things about Napoleon in this movie or TV show. I think it was Netflix.
He like walked on his tippy toes or something. You know what I'm talking about?
He was just like complaining to his wife all the time, and he like didn't know what to do and always asked his wife. It was like his wife was actually the one who was Napoleon or something. Like I don't know. There's people are pretty upset, I think, about it. Or maybe it was just Andrew Tate that was upset about it.
But his story is a surprising one. For example, did you know that the most famous Frenchman in history didn't even speak French until he was 10 years old? Or that he very nearly gave up on his military career to write saucy romance novels? Neither did I. And there's more. When he wasn't terrorizing the rest of Europe, Napoleon found the time to broker the biggest deal in the history of real estate, accidentally helped mankind to translate Egyptian hieroglyphics, and put...
I forgot he was like alive during like the American times.
Yeah.
That's just, it's like, damn.
Yeah, he helped transcribe.
He just seems like such like an older figure.
Yeah,
when
I know.
I don't know. It's just like when I think France and Europe, my mind goes, oh, history, medieval, you know, like, so I'm thinking like farther back than when he actually was about, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Put together legal, economic, and educational reforms that quite literally...
Was Napoleon a dim boy? Wow. Banking, the education system. What's going on here? Was Napoleon a dim boy?
That's what it sounds like, Jacob. The bank, the education system, and yeah, the power.
Well, I guess we're about to learn. See, this is what happens, guys, when you're illuminated. You start going, oh, yeah, this guy was a part of a long history of control. But we don't know yet. We're gonna see. By the end of this video, we're gonna be like probably like 96% certain without even hearing it from anyone else, I would bet. Just by like, oh yeah, this is connected to the Roths.
Actually changed the world. Oh, and one of his distant relatives was the voice actor who played Chef Louis in The Little Mermaid.
Dim boy.
Really? Oh, look at that nose.
Look up average dim boy on your computer right now and tell me if that looks like him.
I mean, I can already tell you it does. Looks like that should be Samantha's dad, or that could be Samantha's dad.
Oh yeah, I forgot Samantha's dad was CIA.
Yeah.
Yo, so do you think, right? So think about it, right? So when you watch a podcast, let's say you're watching do you know Impulsive? No, you don't, do you?
No.
Let's say you're watching well, our shit's barely a podcast. We're like more like we're more like a media group like the Daily Wire now.
Yeah. Well, it's just for now though.
But do you so right? So when you so you see Sneeko, Fresh and Fit, and Zerko all making content together, right? When they're
Mhm.
making good shit together and they're also making good shit alone. Should we all
Mm,
also be like, because there's times, right, when you're at home, right, and maybe it's just me and you, and we can't all be like illuminate all together, but
yeah,
we could, still build our facial, like we should all have our own channels and social medias and focus on that too as
yeah,
well.
yeah. I
Like
mean,
I
I
feel like we
think
should all have a YouTube channel where we post our video a week. Plus, we're also all posting shit on Illuminate. We should
I
all be, we can't just all be like AMP, AMP, the group?
no.
It's that like Kai Cenat, Duke Dennis, Phantom, like some of the biggest streamers. They all are part of a group, right? But they do collabs together, right? And they're all AMP, but they're also separate. They're all big on their own, right? If AMP ended, you would be like, let's say if Illuminate ends for some reason, like you get arrested by the synagogues or some shit. Fuck, I don't know if that's gonna slide. Well, let's say the worst things happen, right? You would be okay without Illuminate. You know what I'm saying? Like we should
Yeah.
all be building. Like we should be building ourselves too.
Well, I think for now we should just
But what are you
focus.
doing when we can't work on Illuminate, right? If we're not filming at
Uh,
Charlie's house, you could be making your own.
no, right now I have to study because I don't know. I still don't know as much as you guys, and you guys are still getting smarter and smarter. I got to catch up.
Well, I might start doing that.
All right. Well, I mean, I'm just saying. I think we should focus on one thing for now until we get traction,
But there's
and then
nothing to focus on when we're not working on making content.
I mean, if you want, then go ahead. It's up to you, man.
Like what should I be doing?
I would.
Like I'm just like meditating constantly or something about it. Like
Well, if we're gonna move in with Charlie, then you should probably get a job soon.
feels like a trap, doesn't it?
What?
I don't know. It just feels like a trap. One of those things.
I mean, I have to move out no matter what. So, like, it doesn't really matter. Like, even if we can find a place where we can all split it and we don't have to pay more than like $600 a month for rent, then that's definitely doable with and like without even working a shit ton, you know?
Well, if that's the case, then yeah, I can make that happen. But I just don't
Yeah.
want to be in a situation where, well, what am I even? Never mind. I just like completely debunked myself in my head, and I was like, nope, never mind.
Oh,
Because
never mind.
obviously, moving out for me is not a trap, right? It's not like as soon as I move out, like if I gotta take a risk and something bad happens, it's not like my mom's not gonna be like, you can never return home now. Like if the
Yeah.
worst thing happens, I'm gonna
Yeah,
be all
yeah.
right. It's
Yeah, and
still
Grandpa Craig, same thing with Grandpa Craig. He would probably just make me pay rent, but it would probably be way less than. No, I would
because
already
for
be
some
set.
reason I don't know why I've been thinking this now. Like I've been thinking this for a very long time, and I just completely debunked myself. I was like, I won't be able to take risks if I have assets because I'm gonna be too worried about cash flow. So I'm gonna
Bro,
get stuck.
that's the whole thing. Like you're gonna have to take a risk no matter what.
But
Don't take.
taking risks right now are kind of like riskless. I can take a
Yeah,
risk, but it's not really a risk.
yeah, it's not.
But when I move out, now it's a risk. Now my name
No,
is
it's
on a
not.
lease and my rent my rent no, I mean my name's not even on a lease, right? My name's on a mortgage and people are depending on me, right? So now this risk has weight to it. So that was my point of view.
Just keep your job and do what you gotta do.
But sometimes there's certain risks in life where like I don't know.
I mean, well, you'd probably have to get a car too, but you could just get a beater, and and
Well, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do anyway. I'm just gonna fucking beat her.
I feel like by then, I mean, I don't know when this is gonna start making money. We're gonna have to start doing more on it. I mean, we're learning.
We gotta blow up, but we do very, very soon need to start having the conversation. Scratch that. We're live. Why the fuck we talking business? Let's watch the video. I don't even. We weren't giving out too much good knowledge for free, but we almost like we're about to give out some like fucking like some
I think that might actually be my favorite random interesting fact of all time.
like it feels bad like gatekeeping shit, but like that's a part of like America. If you wanna win, you gotta gatekeep.
Oh, on what?
Because like we want to do this and be able to survive, right? So it's like we gotta find a way to make money somehow, and this is like that's how you do it.
Yeah, it's not like we're using our money for all selfish reasons.
It's just like I wish it could all be free, and we could survive, but we can't. It just feels I feel bad. I know I shouldn't, because like that's capitalism. Suck up, That's just how our society works. Like
that's how it works.
Play. I mean, things can't be free, so
that's how it works for now. All
right, but let's learn about Napoleon.
Yeah, 1 minute and 38 seconds. All right.
What? Why did it not play?
There's really no other way of saying it. Napoleon Bonaparte lived one of the most incredible lives in history. Here's how it went. By the way, if, like me, you also think it's about time to do something to protect our planet's ecosystems, stick around until the end. There I have an inspiring recommendation from my friends at Planet Wild, an environmental protection organization that you won't want to miss. Napoleon was born on the French island of Corsica on the 15th of August, 1769. Well, I say French island. Just 3 months before Napoleon executed his first successful military advance through his mother's birth canal, Corsica had been an independent sovereign state. The French invaded after buying it from former owners, the Republic of Genoa, and most of the locals, understandably, weren't too happy about it. Despite being 6 months pregnant, Napoleon's mother, along with his father, joined the Corsican resistance, fighting a bloody guerrilla war against the French invaders. Most historians consider the Siege of Toulon to be his first major battle, but I beg to differ. Baby Bonaparte took part in his
Wait, what's
first
his name?
war as a
Wait, what's his name?
fetus.
I'm sorry, that was really childish of me. What's his name?
Baby Bonaparte?
Weren't too happy about it. Despite being 6 months pregnant, Napoleon's mother, along with his father, joined the Corsican resistance, fighting a bloody guerrilla war against the French invaders. Most historians consider the Siege of Toulon to be his first major battle, but I beg.
Yo, he's doing the Freemason thing,
dude. Is that Napoleon?
Is that him? Wait, press X and go back 5 seconds.
Yep, that's Napoleon.
That's him. So Napoleon was a Freemason?
See, what did we say in the beginning of this video? 15 minutes ago, when we went on a 15-long-minute tangent. What did we tell you? What did we tell you? We have very high-quality flashlights, and we're able to see things that are so dark that the average person would never see. That's why...
Yeah. Oh, his hand's just cold.
We're here. Yeah, his hand's just cold. That's why he's doing the infamous Freemason fucking hingy-bajingy, alright? And guess who else? Who's this motherfucker back here? Doing the same shit. That ain't even Napoleon in the background. Right here, this motherfucker on the left, doing the same thing.
Oh,
what did we say? Everything since ancient... No, I can't verify what I was about to say. Everything since the Crusades have been planned, okay? Everything since the Crusades has been a movie, and your ancestors and you right now are a part of the movie. You are part of the script. And today you have to decide. Do you want to be a side character or do you want to join the main characters? Do you want to be an NPC or do you want to be a playable character? Or do you want to be a vermin to society, or do you want to be an eagle like this country was once filled with? This beautiful country used to be filled with beautiful eagles. Alright, back to the video. I don't even remember how
took
that happened.
part in his first war as a fetus. It ended up being one of the few losses of his career. France was the richest, most populous country in Europe at the time, and the Corsicans never really stood a chance. But anti-French sentiment remained high amongst much of the population, including...
No, who is this motherfucker?
What the hell?
Bro, dude, this is like me when I first met Lucci.
Me?
This is how I was feeling when I was walking around. I felt like this dude.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you did give off that vibe, bro.
I was like, hey, Benny,
You're just like really unsure of yourself.
can you run that? Yo, I would say, yo, can you run this pizza to table 22? And then I'd look at you like that. The good days.
or Rafino would talk about Lucci. And...
When Kumio would ask me to grab dough. Man, I miss Rafino grabbing our dough.
Wait, what's that dude's name? That dude that always came in and put a $0 tip down.
Oh, CJ.
CJ, yeah.
Yeah, I'll never forget his name.
Dude, he wouldn't even put $1 and he would buy like fucking 10 pizzas.
Dude, I wish we knew like I wish we had our dim boy jokes in Hawthorns. Like
Yeah.
I wish we had our new humor there. That'd be fun.
Quit around.
Dude,
Yeah.
CJ needs to stop dim boying around. Alright, we know he has money. He's here every fucking Friday. Alright, leave a damn tip.
And then he looks so guilty, bro. And then he flipped it over.
Yeah. I should have like fucking like grabbed his hand. Like, no, you don't need to flip it over. Like,
Yeah.
we know you're we know you're struggling or pretending to. Or you just don't respect the quality of service this establishment is giving you. And
Or you just
if that is the case, sir, I quite frankly find that disrespectful. But let's learn
part of the
more
problem.
about. Is this like Napoleon during his emo phase? Is this supposed to be Napoleon?
I don't even think this is Napoleon.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Just keep playing it.
This is like Napoleon before he like
Which
ate
is why
too
he
much
wasn't best
food or something.
pleased when, at the age of 9, his father shipped him off to a
No
fancy
way.
French boarding
That
school
is
on the
Napoleon.
mainland.
It is. He was 9.
It was a big change
Dude,
for Napoleon, and
why did
absolutely
Napoleon
hated
look
it.
like the average
Technically
TikToker
speaking,
back
he
then,
was
bro?
as French as a
He looked more
but he
like a
could
man
Dude,
than
that's
you
like-
now.
foreign, which isn't all that surprising, really, considering he didn't actually speak French, only Corsican and Italian. He picked up the lingo pretty quickly, but he would never lose his Corsican accent, even as an adult.
0
A
it.
year later, he earned a scholarship to the prestigious
Damn, bruh.
military academy at
What if
Brienne-le-Château.
Me and the boys posing up for a picture.
Not-
Dude, imagine all of us being alive back then and Charlie's like, yo, everyone stand still. I need to draw a picture if you guys are quick.
Yeah.
Guys, stand still. I'm painting this moment. That's crazy that you used to like if I wanted a picture done, like I wanted my portrait done, I would have to sit like this for like fucking like 10 hours. Like,
No, it wouldn't be that. Yeah, you probably just outline.
no, that's what they did. They would sit and they would just paint you. You'd be like,
So they would just stand like that for a bit.
mm.
Drew the outline of you, and then just finished it later, and like put like a just like a mark of color on where everything needs to be, you know, something like that.
Are you drawing? Or oh.
No, go ahead.
And he despised it every bit as much as he hated boarding school. His classmates were all the sons of French aristocracy. And while
Look at them,
Napoleon
bro.
himself
These are some
descended from
distinguished
the line of
gentlemen.
Italian nobility, his
Oh.
family were by no means rich.
Look at that.
He
Is that
graduated
Napoleon?
military school at the age
Dude,
of 16
he was just like
and
a
got his
sassy
first army posting
young
as a
man,
second
wasn't he?
lieutenant in an artillery unit. He learned fast, and before long he was one of the most capable soldiers in his unit. But the promotions he felt he deserved never came.
Still skin.
French society at the time was based on a strict hierarchy. First came the church, then the aristocracy, and finally the commoners. Napoleon was technically part of the aristocracy, but if noblemen were supermarkets, he would have been Asda.
Napoleon looks
If you wanted to
familiar.
reach the most senior positions in the army, you had to be Waitrose.
I'm not a met Napoleon once.
No matter how hard he worked or how good he was, Napoleon would always be held back by his heritage. Or at least, that's what he thought. But then, the French Revolution happened. The social hierarchy that had governed French society for centuries was torn to shreds as revolutionists overthrew the monarchy and stripped the
See? Napoleon's is a great example of why you should never lose hope. Right? He was like, oh, I'll never be nobody because of my heritage. Right? Just like a lot of people today, they're like, oh, I just have no hope for humanity anymore. Right? There's no hope, right? It feels like there's no hope until there is hope, right? There's always hope, and sometimes it's on a higher frequency that's easy to feel, and sometimes hope is on a lower frequency, but you still gotta tap into hope because right now, right, things might seem like, oh yeah, we'll never defeat them boys, right? Them boys will always have a grasp of control over us,
Nah,
but
bro.
right?
No.
We may be all thinking that right now.
That's not what I'm
Just like
thinking.
Napoleon one day thought, right? Oh, I'll never be anybody because of my heritage. And then what happened? The French Revolution. And what's gonna happen? The Great fucking Awakening. That's what's gonna happen. All right. Let's get back to the program.
aristocracy of their privileges.
It's already
Louis
happening,
XVI
Jacob.
and his
It
wife,
is.
Marie
That's why we're here
Antoinette,
right now.
were given the guillotine
Yeah.
treatment. And
Yo.
France was declared a republic ruled by politicians elected by popular vote. The French Revolution wasn't televised,
Where's that ugly
obviously,
bitch?
but word still got around. And
Skip
when the
it.
rest of Europe heard what was going on in France, they weren't
the ugly whore?
displeased. In fact, they were furious. Most countries in Europe had monarchies and aristocracies of their own.
Well, guess
and the revolutionary
we won't be seeing
ideas
the whore
coming out
again.
of France posed an existential threat to all of them. And so, Europe's venerable leaders decided to resolve their ideological differences like the gentlemen of culture they were. Just kidding. They went to war. Great Britain, the Holy Roman Empire, Portugal, Prussia, Sardinia, Spain, and several other countries formed the mother of all tag teams to lay the absolute smackdown on revolutionary France. The War of the First Coalition had begun. For your average Frenchman, having half a continent declare war on you was probably quite scary. But for Napoleon Bonaparte, it was like Christmas had come early. There was suddenly a massive demand for capable military men to lead France's army against her countless enemies, and you didn't even need to have stepped foot in a Waitrose to get the job. His first taste of leadership came in 1793 after royalist rebels supported by British and Spanish ships seized the port of the city of Toulon. Napoleon came up with a bold plan to liberate the city by storming a hilltop fort in the middle of the night and turning its cannons on the coalition ships blockading the harbour. He led the attack himself, taking a bayonet to the thigh in the process, but the plan worked a treat. A 24-year-old Napoleon had just won his first significant battle, and the world got its first glimpse of what the greatest military genius in history was capable of. Napoleon was promoted to Brigadier General.
Dead ass, we should probably study this motherfucker. If he's
Yeah, I
that
know.
smart, as they're saying.
But just when it seemed his grand military ambitions would finally be fulfilled, they were dealt a significant blow. His first posting was to put down a royalist rebellion in western France, but he considered the task to be beneath his considerable talents. And so he did what any grown man does when faced with a job he doesn't really fancy. He pulled a sickie. He was so miffed, he even attempted a wild career change, writing a saucy romance novel where the leading man bore a striking resemblance to Napoleon himself. He was removed from the French army's list of available generals, and for a while it looked like his military career was over before it had really begun. But that changed in October 1795, when 25,000 soldiers launched a devastating assault on the city of Paris. These soldiers weren't British, and
So I think these things kind of that they happen is when the military wakes up. If we don't wake up the military, nothing will ever happen.
Okay, yeah, of course.
Maybe I should have waited to say that, actually.